It's week 7 of the National Football League, and we'll see Jameis Winston. He's coming off a nice week throwing the ball, 4 touchdown throws. It's the Saints and the Cards on Thursday night primetime.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun and State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Tonight we kick off Week 7 with a great Thursday night matchup here between the New Orleans Saints and the Arizona Cardinals. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Saints in this matchup, and this is going to be a heck of a chess match. This offense against a defense that will take no prisoners out there.
It's going to be a big-time battle, and I think that both of these teams have that mindset of, we're going to do what we do and make the other guys react to us. And we've definitely got a couple of headstrong coordinators who won't back down from the challenge. So this will be a battle of wits as much as it'll be a battle of brawn.
Toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Kyler Murray in his 4th NFL season leading this Cardinal offense. Already a 2-time Pro Bowler in his time with Arizona.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game, bottom line. May not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Right to the air. Here's Murray. And this one too low.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Murray, he'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. Rondale Moore, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And here come the Saints about to begin their first possession. And the man in charge of this offense, his 8th season now in the NFL, former #1 pick, Jameis Winston.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns, I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game,
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 13 carries, 63 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Now on 2nd and 13. Winston. And his throw here is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Kamara trying the right side. And the all-pro safety Buda Baker in on the tackle. The Saints sitting at a very solid 4-2 record through the first 6 weeks. And they come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Well, this defense for the Cardinals, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground. But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And the big boys up front. They're going to stop him right at the line. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 15-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jarvis Landry, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Saints are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's Jarvis Landry who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Murray. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Couple of Oklahoma teammates there. Murray to Brown for a Cardinal first.
Someone sharp in this game. A touchdown pass in the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Now the NFL's leader in rushing touchdowns last year, it's James Conner. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 3rd down, it's Conner. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same. but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Here's Murray from midfield. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Murray now on first down. He's got Green. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up second and 12. Murray a give. This is Connor. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Here's Murray. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 23. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. But those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Murray. Ertz over the middle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They wanted to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit in the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. David Onyemata able to record his 5th sack of the season.
But it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down.
Fourth down, Murray off, and the Cards field goal unit and Matt Prater out there now.
From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. Prater's kick is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Winston. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Now, this is a quarterback that's already in the top 100 all-time in passing yards, but that last throw going to move him past Roger Staubach on the all-time list. Roger Charles at 22,700.
Don't forget, he also won 2 Super Bowls, played from 1969 to 1979. And I would dare say Rodgers' numbers would be larger, but remember, he had a commitment to the Navy. A graduate of the Naval Academy, back then you had to serve your 5-year hitch before you could go on and join the NFL.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode it right out of bounds. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Here's Winston. And that is incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will knot us up at 10.
Wow, I mean, it's so rare to even see one attempted from that distance, CD, let alone converted, but he came through with confidence and matches what was Tom Dempsey's 43-year NFL record at one point of 63 yards.
Yeah, I can still see that highlight of Dempsey making that kick, and nowadays we see it a little bit differently because, remember, Dempsey was a straight-out kicker. But these guys nowadays, the range keeps increasing, and they keep putting it through the posts.
Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Murray's throw complete there to Moore.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Murray going to take off with it.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a first down. Murray going to throw.
And this will be swung out here for counter.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw is Murray. Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. These two teams all tied after 1. Back in Arizona, 2nd quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw here into the hands of Moore.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 41-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Murray now to throw. Finding Green complete. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Murray trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This one fielded at the 5. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The football going back over to Arizona now. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. On 2nd and 9, Murray throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hopkins. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Here's Hardy set to return.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at their 35-yard line.
He'll start with a give to Kamara. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Here's Winston. And Thomas has it. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A 10th carry for Kamara. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
55 rushing yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Throwing, Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss because this is an obvious passing situation. But instead, they fooled them a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost and then a little bit more.
Now Winston. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
The kick by Lutz is good, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So out now come the Cardinals. Well, Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll fake it to counter. Now Murray.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Murray now.
And this, incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. On the return, Hardy. Oh, able to avoid him. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On second and a couple, Winston.
We'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Kamara up the middle. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
76 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. On play action, Winston. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Again, this is Kamara. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. The busy night continues for Kamara. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Ready.
Now Winston. Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas from 4 yards out. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's Michael Thomas who ends it with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This taken in at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. The last series form a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll start the drive with a give to Connor. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Going to run the sweep here. This is Hopkins. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. From the 36, Murray. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Demario Davis coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot. 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now Andy Lee will come on to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. 102 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Second down at 4. Jameis to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Jameis now on first down. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
Ready.
Throwing again on second down. Winston. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up. To the air again with Winston. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
They run. It's Kamara. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. Alvin Kamara unable to push past that yellow line. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Well, they knew who to turn to on fourth down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the first down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped, and they got it done on that play.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. He finds Hopkins complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Murray. Throw left side complete. That's Connor. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
One more.
To throw again on second down. Murray. He'll dump this one off to Connor. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. They got to get it to the 21 here on third down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights, and that will close the gap down to 14. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. Some of the best games of the weekend come in that 1 o'clock Eastern window, one of which features the Panthers at home in Carolina as they'll face off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Then on Sunday night, a great one in the AFC, a game that harkens back to Bradshaw versus Tracy. Noel and Shula. It's the Steelers, Dolphins, 8:20 Eastern. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And a big reason why they have this big lead, the running game. They're over 100 yards as a team, and it's been the catalyst for this offense. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both teams finishing up their halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football at State Farm Stadium. And for the call, let's head back out to Glendale and hand it over to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. He will return this from deep in the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Deontay Hardy. And he takes it all the way, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
Holding, receiving team.
So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
A give to Kamara running right. Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv, and you run into a tough crowd.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it, and the Cards are going to take possession of the football. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. And they'll start with great field position, trying to get back into this one. It's 1st and 10 here. After the turnover, here's Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Murray. And his pass incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Forced out to his left. And they stop him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. but I certainly didn't expect them to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with this 4th down call.
4th down, Murray off, and the Cards field goal unit and Matt Prater out there now. Prater's kick is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but a starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble to bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. So here are the Saints to take over. They were winners last week against Cincinnati, and right now they are in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Winston. Thomas has got it. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Winston to give. It's Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 128 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Winston. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Well, the football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd and 11 now. Murray being chased out left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And the Saints are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd and inches, Winston. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. There's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Ready.
Again, it's Kamara. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They certainly thought he had no first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. He's got it. Touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run behind center with Connor. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, it's Murray. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing he just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Lutz with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Jordan just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Murray, and that's complete. It's Green here. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Murray. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They go play action. Winston. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Kamara trying the right side, and for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. And that's a great defender. Everson Griffin making a great defensive play there for a loss. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Quick slant, that's caught by the 5'11" Landry. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 29-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
They'll go draw here. Winston hands to Kamara. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. And the Cards will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. The drive will start with Connor, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. Dante Hightower breaking through to take him down behind the line.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw is Murray. Eluding the pressure right. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that snap. I think he was asking just a little too much as he extended that play, hoping for one more completion with him.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure, and this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now.
Now Callaway on the return. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On second down, Kamara. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They'll try the air now with Hill. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 19. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it, and it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, you certainly are now after seeing this type of victory from them.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. A give. This is Kamara. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara
His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game.
And the Saints are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left, and their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Cardinals offense ready to set up shop.
And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now Murray.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Saints on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Running with Kamara. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Kamara. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you'll only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a... Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 5-yard touchdown catch.
And the Saints continue to pour it on on here in the fourth. Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Lutz good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There's the always dangerous Rondale Moore. He and this offense ready to begin the upcoming series. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Green brings it in. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Looking to throw again on second down. Murray going deep for Hopkins. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Here's Murray. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Quick slant to Brown. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point, where we're at in the 4th quarter, with how wide this advantage is, for this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
On 1st and 10 is Counter. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. Again, a run with Counter. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Murray going to throw. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Rondale Moore with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Cardinals get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Prater for the extra point as they make make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Saints on third down. They've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. This is 3rd and 11. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And they're going to stop him short of the first down as he's tackled at about the 21. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. With it is Brown. A little juke. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Murray now. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
And there's the beauty of Kyler Murray because we all know he can get it done through the air. Terrific right arm, and nowadays we don't even talk about his height anymore. He's shown that he can see downfield and make throws, but he also possesses wide receiver speed. He can call his own number or scramble and turn it into a big play as well. Kyler Murray, a dual threat at the quarterback position.
That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Murray now to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hopkins. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Murray. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to offer him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know when a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Kamara gets it again on second down.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. They run it again with Kamara. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. That kind of looked like a defense fed up by being gashed in the running game all night.
Yeah, and imagine their coach saying, if you're fed up on that play, where were you the rest of the time? What took you so long? But flip it over to the offensive side. They've been dominating this thing, and to finally have a play go against them, that's not something that's going to make them feel very good this evening.
It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
He'll get this to Connor underneath.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Saints, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year.
And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Meanwhile, for Arizona, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.